ena wo enkofun kroso nsem ewom non so nwumrei our permission at the assembly atudwa or say our chance to qualify no a slim details coming up yebera Madrid transfer num afe Manchester United manager Ruben Amorim den sama tudwa obetibi yebafia yebedi nkomo ahead of the MTN FA Cup semi-final Saturday Sunday ewo takwa Gebedin komo ho afisem no dosun details na background so folk afe under 20 no omo ewo Egypt na Egypt no ochina omo gina kono say ana hobobo no esi etia Desmond fair wabo draw back ena warren back ni third game say ana okom obetewonsem ene away on Promise TV on Promise 102.7 megahertz. Mr. Eugene Adu Poku striker head of sports for Promise Media watana se dada enti yebekwa by ba na oni team no ade de akanyina atoa so ene ede amadwuma ko biantama ena away wo de asia konkon highway sports no yede edan wo perfect skin and body therapy de bia meka me se eye pimples na agi wanim no afa oba ema pimples enji wanim emfa de bia wo de uti wanim da bi fakodan perfect skin and body therapy na omuntu asem ema stretch mass no man from peo obi kachem se na wari agu because of stretch mass mema ni bimpe enti fakodan perfect skin and body therapy na fe omuntu ase emfa ema kotwana won ho no abusuam ambe pepa edi efi wedenani tattoo bi na won ho masa bia wanya kwanya bia okoye adwuma no nso tattoo won ho ko na perfect skin empepa emfa ema akura bi na ewo honam duanani a ombeyi edi efi opese o slim body no or the perfect skin and body therapy amaso ye wofuso a fakodan omo na amuntu ase ema afe o per flat tummy o body no opese shaping ye ema wa perfect skin and body therapy ena ebo kumase Bosan Abraham Johnson woma ewo ho enkrampuni mantemu osu Akwaje Park Sita House first floor woma ewo ho Takrade amwa Kitan Johnson Episoft Lodge Hotel eho ena omu edi womu juma eno woni nkomo 0553 312911 0553312911 and answer 0272453535 0272453535 perfect skin and body therapy or say be perfect come on say na wow afa Bosaba electricals anye ne de bia meka me se ono no de no nye de manfo kotena kan twaba ne bia o eye engresa brochima mu ene wakọ twan kanea no ede aba enti chandelier light obetibi ewo Bosaba electricals corner light ojibi wall light garden light afa bedside lamp spot light LED light open color blue and answer white open LED light 3 watts 6 watts 9 watts 18 watts and answer 24 watts open CCTV cables 100 meters 200 meters CCTV camera odo the other one saying the yade ebo edem etwa no ho sa 360 afa standing fan open orange odo open ceiling fan open air conditioning fan with USB missing fan bia open no bra Bosaba electric asasuye nebetobi original certified cables no Energy Commission of Ghana Bosaba electricals denom atom into 1.5 mm 2.5 mm 6 mm 10 mm to 16 mm no antibi our Bosaba electricals adum present on a cadet market no edi animhwe adum Bosaba building prisons runabout amwaha womu edi omujuma adum present and theater ko for dinum 0322 030 838 0322 030 and answer 0536 095 966 0536 095 966 follow Bosaba Electricals our TikTok and answer Instagram at bossaba.electricals TikTok and also Instagram bossaba.electricals na fe eniema openo o just screenshot to sa na maye hu onsam ebetimi aka uria na wako promise helper eho na bibi joining na ewo bibi jo fie eno no enti to bibi joining na fafi promise helper ebia na honam ya oya ebia malaria bi ena ti wo kranko ya de bi wo so ena watia bibi do bidin ena opesa to a enko ba bia ema ye nyamatrama kwensem nkyerɛw bra promise helper na amu bibi do pa entimi entom adum Bossaba Plaza Opsis Methodist Church adum na 0535 544681 na wafre promise ba na fe nyama nyina akoye ede ama boss player atnase enti ebetin komo na fe yatoa so ede o show ne live our Promise TV Promise 102.7 megahertz. Boss, good afternoon.
Baba Isa, the sports lawyer, say bibia koso kama. Nyoma ye kama. Bibia be fine. Why? Kama kuma to ye bibia be fine. Why? Mate. Say haji ho ye. Ne ho ye pa. Okay, nyoma so koso kama.
Ne we koso na wa unim.
Ade de na esi.
My ade.
Ade.
My ade pa.
Ade.
Dem kubusa 150 Ghana cedis. They need to crowd. Oh, you see, 350 Ghana cedis.
And then on I say,
hey, Ghana, no.
And say, the money muye.
Oh,
They say the muye. They say, Susika ba.
Musika de mai.
That's all money muya, Usika neba.
Where my. Oh, the entire make us say, and say, on the Yati Petrus,
on your Rosso.
Yati Petrus, yes, $1 baffum. I mean, me concern your back up and reflect it or ye ho. Say, bit my boob, Yabas, I reflected. I reflected every babas. I saw say, oh, sir, indications near positive. I can't say very reflected. And you reflected. It's reflected here, but it's the idea. A concord. Say, dear concord.
Okay.
Heard it.
I do almost see any Bible, but yeah, cool to me the pa. So, Osoro Boadi or Buano.
Osoro Boadi or Buano. So, I'm one also your mo.
I say,
I'm one also some more.
Abraboma Quintuno. Ubin Tumobi.
Of course.
So, of course. Yawa. How Omodembo obey Omadeboko. So, say. Nti odu ani betu yesu odu ani betu yesu
radio hamo
nipa betime disappoint you at any time.
Of course
unexpected na nipa disappoint you nti wa boa wo ho na nyankopon so emmoa ewom se ne moa no de fa nipa so but wa moa wo ho a
obi moa
nyame so emma obi moa
nipa hu ne awo ye obi be boa akra wo hu se niam na awo ye no e positive ade na awo ye no bia o chena be so abapa bia o bo homoden so mama insurance ne obetimi adu ho beto da na odo nsa sha odo merifa mu dia man bia nton fi heaven ma
okay
bia nton fi heaven
eti baba yeko ano
enranso o trend kama o trend ena we catch the boys na no hwebo nsa afei ne mahu last year na ye kase 2-1 na dem afei ne minim asese cash na ba mo nti ase ya onya da agyenye aso transit so ye dia
utiri so wati utiri so wati
transit so ye dia
utiri so wati
na me hwe
za kwa ba
na boys no bo abaso pa and obi se man fa cash pa
eko se kono say etwa na oye ashim bi se so kore Arsenal kore score no
okay unim say internet kumi chale mi tu na Ghana citizen de ko payo Arsenal ai inter say 2-0 command conference me yare
no so na Bournemouth win here 2-1 na 13 points
something
and Inter dey 6 something
and Antobro me We are saying there. You see who Arsenal 2 and money judge and you made it. TV no was some see Inter. I'm for back on come. Come on, guys. Come down, da.
Fine.
Ti baba ye kwa no. But usual
PSG ni Arsenal no.
Say PSG no. A boy is a 3-1. Like it will my 2-1.
3-1 for why?
PSG.
Is
Over no so muso mo babo te say de ayi mo brobo.
I'm coach.
Omo show papa.
Your quote for the day na baba de manonin sem na ba or say never forget what they told you when they were angry. Those statements are very important.
Yeah.
Never forget what they told you when they were angry. Those statements are very important.
No cancer man.
Ono obinya asem.
Yeah.
Na ne bufu. Na o statistics work cancer ma.
You careful.
Sa asem na wo kan ye ne trimu asem odwen fa ho. Nti abufu no na akwakoyaba. Opeso hu adamfo papa. Wadamfo an na ne du tan bi ahye na bufuo. Ne tie sem obeka.
Ana be kire how.
Na be kire so ya adamfo papa ana so nya adamfo papa.
The sanity. Okay.
No crack. Shada bufuo.
Shada bufuo.
Or your true friend and also your true friend.
So o shena bufuo no start take cancer ma. Say adamfo we dey so hwini ye. So tell chana say
asem bia o ka bia na ensem a unhu a
o ka no wachi na say ensem e woni tirim
o tim say onya obeye.
Yes.
Na bufuo na mana kan kire o.
Ntina wa won so o say we asem ya careful papa
so hwini ye.
Onya obeye.
Me careful.
So what baba? Too far adamfo bia. But modern say at the point to be shena bufuo.
Ba me so na me wa Mizaya once na yere dan ba. Ni bufu so ankasa o. Ano so
no dey so onkan ni ti.
Ono bufu pa onkasa da.
On be so be ye bibia be say montem.
Ni bufu a o edin.
Ba obu o do no na ma. Gidi nko a. O to ya no ni sasim. Eso still.
Obaka wasem.
Na ho adwen bone. E ntrim. Nti ada ne bubofu no. Ensem e be fi na numa ba. Ensem a te se wa wote ye no. Mse
akwai ni trima asem fa me ho no waka.
Eno waka no. There's what down so. Why?
Matias boss. Matias.
Sports player.
Boss.
Zaki yakwaba.
Yes.
Na afi. Baba die wia.
Na manfo twa anwum.
Ade.
Manfo twa anwum. Musa dia Madrid and team anye Inter ba ya ba ye Nzagi yenye udeni uyeboy. Nti na sanyo na eba so. Na pia na we ni say Kim. Sanyo no boys beto.
Monyere mo hona mo nhyebi.
Na say aje so bia. Tournament e boy there.
Baba isa kura there. Baba isa ne nkomodi enya de.
Sina boame. UEFA Champions League na kan wasem no. The last 10 years, Madrid just 6 times.
Nkomodi enya de.
The last 10 years, Madrid just.
Yeah, ka boy ya bona fi obi so bi ase.
I feel you kan one.
Ene munya boy
bibia.
Munya boy.
I feel obi anu say Madrid kan.
What one my team a chiwa shawo yi. Home na we wa show 5 goals.
Sane e kan.
O se e twen se PSG be share na mai.
Kan dia AC Milan. Fi ye ne munyina happy.
O de nkwa ma no ne.
Enti ena awian so yemu akwaba na yenkai wo se wani ene wasuguso a utie na ohwe Promise 102.7 megahertz and afi Promise TV asase afi UEFA Champions League semi-final second leg onim se Paris Saint-Germain at the 1-0 on aggregate and a echo game no and na our Paris non so and a side game no ebetimi atofem na ohwe training na afanu mi no enra Donnarumma na better goal post num ama Paris Saint-Germain afe Nuno Mendes William Pacho Marquinhos and afe Ashraf Hakimi on be complete the back four and Finfinom Fabian Ruiz Vitinha and João Neves among miensa on be in Finfio attack no abe Kvaratskhelia Ousmane Dembele and Desiree Doe among and Emrantia on belly the attack ama Paris Saint-Germain Arsenal abeko David Raya Bibian sa goal post num Ben White abebom esanse Julian Timber no na issues kakra ɛwɔ hɔ ne fitness nti likely sɛ Ben White ɛna ɛbɛbɔ nti Ben White ɛbɛhyia Kvaratskhelia na afei William Saliba, Jacob Kiwo na afei Lewis Kelly ɔmo complete the back four. Martin Odegaard, Thomas Partey back into the midfield nti ɛbɛyɛ Martin Odegaard, Thomas Partey, Declan Rice, Gabriel Martinelli, Leandro Trossard ɛna Bukayo Saka. Wɔn ne players a wɔn egyamum ama Arsenal boss player Paul Mason at the atudwa sɛ Ukraine ɔno ofi Arsenal team nom na deɛ ɔka akyerɛ Arsenal ɛne sɛ ɔmo chances sɛ nɛ ɔmo qualify ahead of Paris Saint-Germain no ɛyɛ slim kakra this bi a magic night ne bi si anya saa ɛbɛ den ama Arsenal sɛ ɔmo betumi a qualify ako ɛde akɔ wɔn anim ɛyɛ sad news ɛma Athletic Club Bilbao Ghana form yɛno ɛntumi nsia kan ɛma Bilbao nyankopɔn bo a ɛda ɛtena wɔn sɛ first league no Nico Williams antimi ansia kan reporter ɛka yɛnsa ɛnɛ awia yi ɛkyɛ sɛ Oko Iñaki Williams asua ya ɔno nso yɛ out a ɔntimi ɛmɔ game no pie yɛmara England na afei yɛne nkɔmɔ ɛwɔ England former Arsenal manager Professor Asavenga at the atudwa sɛ the transfer game na sesia ɛwɔ hɔ no ɔbɛka akyɛ Liverpool sɛ ɔma lusu saa game no ɔse sɛ wonimu a hwɛ kwan a Madrid ɛfa so ɛfa Kylian Mbappe ɔstande mfie mmienu ma Paris Saint-Germain nyinaa na ɔmo dɛda koda no ɔse ɔma hyɛ aseɛ with William Saliba ɔma hyɛ aseɛ with Ibrahim Konate ntina onim sɛ enka Liverpool for ɛmu sadeɛ no nanka ɔmatimi asi ho kwan ɛma boy no nkɔyɛ adwuma ɛma Madrid ɛno yɛ Professor Asavenga ne nsɛm a ɔde ɛto dwa England na yɛdi Liverpool ho nkɔmɔ no Darwin Nunes ɛyɛ player ɛma Liverpool report confirm sɛ River Plate ɛdi nkɔmɔ akɔ anim yɛ paa sɛ Darwin Nunes ɛmra na ɔmɛyɛ adwuma ɛmfa ɛma team no Marcus Rashford deɛ mete ɛkyɛm sɛ Aston Villa qualify for UEFA Champions League Nyankopɔn bo 2025-2026 I'm about sign a permanent nebom ekoba ne say amantimi an qualify for the Champions League about then say Marcus Rashford deal no am be permanent e an wakai asan so say oye Manchester United player and an open loan at the Aston Villa team no Andra Beta oye Sporting Director Emma Arsenal na oshan come say with William Saliba, Sir William Saliba, and Senate Contralti, Emma Arsenal. Now, I say, oh, yeah, where pa, Sir Madrid from Penning Fono, and a Sasia, and Omane, Bueno, Edin, come on, and they say, oh, Fred Boyna, as an income dinner header, and so said the Sasia with William Saliba, not Echo, Nyasa, and in playing Echo, Nanko Pabwa, it's not Chelsea, UEFA Europa Conference League. Now, press conference at Tottenham Enzo Maresca at the Atudwa se ahumbe here se Chelsea abawini trophy afi esan se Chelsea awini the UEFA Conference League na amabe the first English side amatimi awini the Champions League amatimi awini the Europa League na fe Conference League amatimi awini ekobani sa ambe the only English team UEFA competition bia amatimi ajibie enti Conference League no ehun ehia Chelsea, Manchester United, the American HMSA, Oko Mweskin, Nasuya, or the latest player, Amo and monitor the situation, said that to be a Quenya Bar, Ambefa Mweskin, Nafe, Abaya Juma, at the Amatim, and your good news, Emma, Tottenham Express, and Ningamonisa, James Madison, Abamese 3 months, a knee injury, Koto Genome, a Honose Posse, and Tibosumi and Sam, Nadia Obesia Kai, Ama Tottenham Spurs Bobo Kono Alejandro Garnacho a player Emma Manchester United Garnacho Edia Tujam say I no crow or no day or can ama teams oh sorry yes oko Estadio Real Metropolitano that is Atletico de Madrid oda sorry yes oko Stadio Diego Armando Maradona Stadium Napoli San Samna Amoki Kanina on Teye and Manchester Manchester United team num na I believe sir 2025-2026 Manchester United about major trophy afi UEFA Europa League amujanye sa amaba jam yamra Germany na fe yenin komom e Germany and we live on Promise TV, live on Promise 102.7 megahertz na William Nagelsmann ono aye manager ama Diamond Soft of Germany na reporter yansa eka HMSA aye likely sa next week UEFA Nations League final tour May 22nd and abetoja obenemi ne squad no Mark Andre ter Stegen, Nicholas Fulkrug omina a players aye likely some abato nsa at the Afra wamum Nico Slotterbeck differently or you rule out of the tournament and na away you don't some to him Manchester City Makacha say amadin come on with Florian Vita Osia Kai our Bay Arena Emma Bayer 04 Leverkusen na away reporter Eka Yensa HMS City ama boy the deadline say oh my who masa say oh my juma Emma Manchester City am you Kevin De Bruyne Eko nti you may hear as diet replacement Emma Kevin De Bruyne nti say oh fisa ma my who na feyam fiani enche baby from and City and foreign vet letters and no Vincent Company at in SMP atudam away or set naniante as a manager set warene the Bundesliga with Bayern Munich or say or share France no ball say anya Bundesliga nkwa and a person oje with Bayern Munich or person or a lot of trophies with the club afi nanka team nina directors president obia and is what doing say nanka Munich finals na de and team no aberamo na fe amatma ba omaden akọ finals amanisa de oka and say next season they will do better and your reporter opinion if na so about job hanks or they are to just Thomas Muller or come obiate say a difficult sam masa bind for ebeja amana kosa ebeyom panka bind for nenkasa nanke bia director robia amon famanom e team num waye bi papa e say Jama Musiala ebesena nan or a good player there nebom say o team num a eniema oye e de ema team no edoso Jama Musiala e 20-minute jogging section and onim say wapra na wasase e ne rehab and or 20-minute jogging and Jama Musiala RB Leipzig a confirming sa Amadou Haidara for the rest of the season on Timisia Kai Emma RB Leipzig team no biem Yanko Spain Inigo Martinez or say I team na free Champions League num na o catch Madrid for say league ne de ayomo dia league ne said tie bia ambete na amdi jana be gu Madrid so Nyankopon boa Sunday our classic num abusua mamen fantuda sa uko Barca team no so ya penifoni nya happy with Ronald Araujo with the attitude ne form na o no mfise player ne de anya bad player na mom coach ne system na obonum in favor boy no and your reporter Eka Yensa and away abusuam oko Madrid training grounds France no at the Bonabi akoboho na amasi Grazie Inter. Thank you, Inter. Outside Vedebabas no, no say Gracia. And I watch them at the go at the white TV so and amode abo in a stadium ho. Almost amoda Interforce. At the one to me and Interfire and on the farm by Rudy Garcia at the Atuja say any jam Setibot Courtois. I return not to say oh yeah Juma at the ama the Belgian national team no and the reporter and no if it's Spain ever and Yanko Italy, Paladino, and Fiorentina I sent until 2027. Obey Juma at the Ama Fiorentina Bobo Conose President Comiso for 30 minutes share or on share and a convincing is also Timitina Claudio Ranieri the thing come on a coach Emma AS Roma 19 game unbeaten run in Serie A or say how qualify for the Champions League Fenerbahce Galatasaray and of Newcastle United na Eddie Dusan Vlahovic of the Juventus sa Amram na Amaya Juma and fa Emma Timninti Bon boss player awia yi so na enkofon close nsem no ye tinina asi live on Promise 102.7 megahertz live on Promise TV. Boss player,
sports lawyer Baba Isa. Say bibia you fine.
Boss bibia you fine.
Okay, my name is Tajman. So din komo bibia you come. Why?
What na din komo?
Aye.
Say e den abete.
Bibia you come. Why?
E den.
Okay,
yeah. Mr. Ajman, we are na Ajmora.
Mr. Ajman, news.
Oh. Okay, Mr. Ajman, we can say.
Ade, then I was
okay, Mr. Ajman, dey go see Ajmora. Say bia o see Ajmora bia.
Ajmora dey say on your friend old man.
Cause I say bia me buy say situation of kakra.
Enti baba ne ntoaso. Quote ne ntoaso say. Sometimes
do baby.
It's your friends
that
keeps the enemies updated.
I omo be no me your namfo for no watamfo for no omo na don ho nsem kom ho na ekoso bi omo ka kire omo.
Be careful with the people you call friends.
Ko hwe ho ye omo a office e o namfo for no omo no hwe ho ye omo.
Okay,
hwe ho ye just abo be kawa.
Sometimes it's your friends that keeps the enemies updated.
Yes.
Be careful with the people you call friends. Nti enemy no ene de egu.
Of course.
Yeah, sure so they are too good to dream.
Papa.
What the bay adwuma?
Oh, so
now okay, first one no.
I me kai first one no.
First one no say.
First one no. First one na o kire say obi bufua. Say obi bufua. Aso be ka kire no. Ahwini. O say ni trimasem pa no aka kire no.
Okay.
Obi bufu no kan.
Bright Owusu Mizaya. Ehwe from Italy.
Oh, me bra no.
Bright so chia o.
O ye nipa.
So chia o.
Me nipa na nti mema me nu a service atem na ye nsakra na ye
na mon sakra.
Ne nsakra.
Ne dada. O se na niji coat no ho pa.
Boss ye dada ba ko. Na dada ba ko no bia nso se be oge. Ntokwa
ye say ye nto aso why. Tino akwa ba.
Emiajubo.
Ebi abako de. Sorry ko. Any baba is every Clementino. Dear Drew, the old brand, no, Sammy Bibia them. Obey me, Ako. Okay. Tino, young handsome woofy, our bob or no, you may our day every.
Good, Jibo, I young co Egypt near na national under 20, Ejna Kononia Machina, 3 p.m. and a year boy and last game, our group no already. Ghana and Congo split 8 points on 1-1. And the best defending champion Senegal, which is a long goer. Yedianya 4 points. DRC Edan kind with the same 4 points. Yeshe Nimus Ghana with Nkunimidia Echena Yebenya with Central African Republic. No group Numu Yebetima advance Akopiem Ewa quarter final stage. And you may training no at me out to Ghana reporter Yepekino HS Jerry Free ye strike no Akopiem Ewa Spain. Ninane se DB daho CD logo ho ena abrantie no ko na afei wakwa akopese nyama be ko yie dia mo a to no ena anya kwansere dia free camp a me no ekese dia nyanwe tournament no kra crucial game echena nanso mperemfo atiase e dia ama no so beba so ma no echena ye dia kanyina no beba abetwum wei ene kakra ye di free Egypt e di maw ene awie na onso hunu se dia ACL ko now yemra mehwe former Hasofo coach Kim Grant and Hawa must have struggle pa we league no abra sponsorship with him na clubs no ETSO.
If it's allegedly betting and etc., that just shows you the hardship in terms of players' salaries, administration salaries, league. Like you've just actually hit everything on the nail on the head. If there's no financial rewards or packages and aligned with the league titles, sponsorships, etc., no TV rights, financial, and there's hardship within players, referees, administration. This will eventually, turn to those wild ways of betting, etc. Of course, it's illegal and it shouldn't be done, but that's the reason why, because it's a very tough economy, it's a very tough environment in terms of football wise, and so there is no financial benefits, incoming benefits for players, for staff, for the league itself. So people may have to resort to other means. This is alleged. I'm not on the ground to say that it's going on. It might be the case, but again, like you said, there's no headline sponsorship. Whoever pays their salaries, the monies, again, that comes down to revenues, income for the RFA or GFA, how they need to make sure that there is a systematic payments for these referees in time and salaries not being paid or being paid. Every referee needs to be accountable. There needs to be assessed, and there needs to be a structure in place that if they're not up to the level of standing of refereeing in games, externally with their own personal issues, and that's something that you can't judge on. But refereeing, that needs to be accountable from the RFA and the GFA to make sure that the level of standing of refereeing is at the highest level. If they're not good enough, then there needs to be replaced, or they need to go back to retraining and to make sure that the level is up. Regards to other side of things, on the financial aspects, again, that needs to be down to the governments ruling governments who run the referee association to make sure that all the referees' financial aspects are met. Otherwise, what's the point? Again, like you said yourself, you might have some rogue referees that need financial accuse any referees of bribery or whatever. But that, at the end of the day, structures need to be put in place and in line to make sure that the standard of refereeing is at the highest level.
Kim Grant on Facebook and motion and area hono na one fans who also talk in America structure need and your bad kwanya organizing on.
I think it's not so much about the league itself. I think the league is quite structured quite well. Obviously, you need sponsorship, you need social media, you need TV rights, and the money that's being generated has to be reinvested in the league, reinvested in infrastructure, reinvested in promotion, salaries for players. If the league is not attractive, fans, supporters will not come. And especially when, the economic situation in Africa or in the world is very hard, people are unlikely not to go to football matches and waste money on something that's not attractive. And this is something, as much as you're a die-hard fan, people got families to feed, everything, and just the whole football structure needs to come together and find out exactly what is required. And also the corporate environment as well needs to invest into the football league as well to make it more attractive. It's not just one thing. It's like a cancer, it just affects everything else. So it's something that needs to be secured at one end, be structured, and make sure that it's promoted correctly and in the right context.
Yemfa Kim Grant Dennis ho na yenko ensamfufuro nyame adumu a weekend MTN FA Cup and na ebesha hot league no unhia no weekend 4 matches nyina no kotodwa e wotakwa na Boso Sports Stadium TNA Park ho and na matches no ekoso yewram e wo Golden Kiss yes na yene on honor Joseph Upton edi nkomo na wache hawa oma prepare edi Asia Atram Division.
We are an attacking-minded team. I try to building Kolan to local football and to exhibit what is within them. So this is the focus. That's what we have done so far, and we are really prepared and we are fully prepared for the game. So we are caught into the game, and then we hope to deliver nice football. And Trump is a good side, and then in the end, we hope to be victorious in the end of the game. The ambition is to lift the cup. And in Kolan, what we tell them is to make history for themselves, and then they can also make history for the club. So the focus is to make history, and this is what we are. Target is, and we are going to put our energy into it. At least in the end, a bit may achieve it. They are coming to play to enjoy themselves and to make history, and this is the focus. We have a bonus scheme for them, and this FA Cup at this level, we've doubled the bonus for them, and then hopefully, I'm sure this also motivates them as well. But the motivation is not about the financial, but it's about making it. Every competition, the focus is to go for the ultimate. We've already played as of about Karela, and we eliminated them, so no news when we eliminate the other ones as well. The cost of playing every competition is bound on the club. Your football team and a competition of now. The motive of playing the league is to so when you a business, you are responsible to bear the cost of the business. Of course, there are sponsorship, but I'm not relying on sponsorship. My focus is to get what I want.
What is sponsorship? Now we are no Joseph Upton. No, and a honor for Golden Kids, and I watch him say, Anya Biano supporter. If in the division 1 kakrano, I will say, Wajibreno Bomabaso.
If I'll be very honest, I think there's a massive transformation. Me, Madibo Chiache, at least I would say I'm 20 years in football. And what was done in the past, I think there's a lot of improvement in terms of sponsorship, at least at the Division 1 level. At least now, all my football boots, all my football 30 balls, all my 30 pairs of boots, all my some financial package. So at least it was better than zero. First it was zero, now we are at a certain level. And I'm hoping going for it, things will improve from there. And then that's the hope. In life, what I know is you have to learn to start to work. before you start running. So at least we've started something, and I hope that it will continue and improve. Football now is a collective thing. In fact, it's very and football most of them it relies on the clubs. Their clubs, no clubs need to I don't know, but obian any plan and obian any structure. But most of the clubs will have to improve their clubs in terms of coaching, in terms of infrastructure, and in terms of administration, and in terms of welfare in Yama. And this is what will bring the game to the next level. But for instance, if we are having all the money in this world now in good coaches and developing Kolani here, where are we going to get? We as clubs also have a responsibility to do something to get to a certain level. We cannot say UPR should come from the FA. At least they're also doing their part. Yes, we want more to be done for us, but at least we have to put in more effort. And the main said and believe he said UPR is centered around money.
Yanko Yenim Honan Yajina MTN FA Cup Committee Chairman Wilson Atta and I describe of this season the NSA competition impressive.
So far, so good. I feel we know. What was the FA Cup no? Me Subanis Ubiano. The matches no competitive. Na nkitwano mini akese no. Na ubia kan wasem na emwaye dede ade na kese koyi. And the who side any bebree I feel we. Nti here for the first time yenya 2 Division 1 teams are almost semi-final. Baku be more final, and it's amazing. Because last season the highest I call is KSC. Friday where they do semi-final. The anybody prize good is going very well. You're creating a whole festival out of it. Now, it's like that. There's a food bazaar, a lot of music and dance, and why the Sunday crowd, the Mother's Day crowd sounds so remote. That is what is happening. Very exciting. Takwabe that's in the PR. Entertainment, a lot of surprises. The FA Cup there at every level be a raise bar. They be a try to the full for the count. But now they are say Ubawa they are shoko. They overshow with TV so. And what was it for the first time in the history of Ghana football? There will be one professional commentary at the radio stations in Abefa. And just will be a sorry no on the name. Move on from a big now no run the commentary. I didn't nature. Yeah, professional commentary will be a fact. Find the main in Ama is very special.
Yanko Yenim na Yanhasa the Ancient Echo, we know. No, they to see a football in the entertainment, driver sports no pa.
Football, and all here is a golden case, and they are trying the visa. Only na Bobo, Tuba Park War, Kaswa, only mobile pa, and these are 2 teams or mobile boy. Now you do mobile new track, please. Abekosa, and yet match get to a casting raise a cry, a count grandbozo, Tasku versus Fiasek, and yet match get to a. Indeed, we share the atmosphere, creative facility, the how comfortable it is. What should the BIA over I think we will serving football at its highest level. So we can hear what I
Young Freehoy, na Yanko Obed, Nana Kwame Enkatia, yes, Bankola for Brekum Chelsea, na Ocean Shire Pronsoa, Omukemu Amu Airport against Kotoko, was we determined to say, Anibiano, also Musushe, na Omukoje Afi FA Cup.
No, or any upgrade the cap of my BR, so just hit the cap. Then to the neck of the tenant. But the one of us actually quite BR, so a family cup. My nearly cares energy effect. I'm very much an idea, but at the end of the day, and what's your baby? A match your baby, then of the day, and what do I'm not saying about the day another man and they're born in a Hunito, and in Meridian, then chin, I just said, but on any bonus, only thing to us out of Koran, but only thing to us, do by Diana, Emma, Marco, and Queen, but the Koran had anything to us, there were any ball.
Yemewe ewo obuase Ashanti Gold Sunroom mo be kono makoma akwo ba ku ne twa to pa no de mo be kumase no fa ne twa to ho ma me na de aka no anopa de no fa ne gugu so nkakra ni nyina ne se ene anopa on Sports TVs ena yete ho kire wo se league de bi nkoso ewo obuase nanso I go supporters no nkabo mu no gina mu dika ni nyina ne se asase a eye club ne dia a eda Gausu extension almost say nana woton asase no me checks HS nana no etia ne na ekokura na nana ekokura no say die atofo no omo wo sense asase no mpanimfo kuku dama wo boase and I tons as no de ama wo mo ti Agro supporters and a stormy Gausu extension almost 10 acres ti asase yantam no mko gina so na dibo de uhuni no kyerese supporters ne kyeremu a na kyerese nyade a omemu obi asi omu bodin omu abo onabo kokoko atindin se omanya ntie se ya ton bia ma no sanso na wa ya fosu ni din betwam ono so etima kotobi so otobi owuntobi o ni nyina no nyade a omemu obia no etumi asie na me wura mu kakra no na gibo mi hu se ase nukura kakra bi wom ni nyina no ene se omoton omudi team no ma champion ma mfa asase we anka no ho yes ni nyina nso omugidi se woto asase e bere wo ho se ma so di develop no atwam to muko protest ye no muka kiro mu se ene moma we na ho na yenkotwa boba foforo ema mo te no ho man so na gibo akopiem e wo court a omukọ na case ni adwen ne omukọ esekura no jumu anom de next setting akwakwahye nanso enura Agro supporters ni free court wo pie ya pe no mo decide say ene also omukọ so mkọ ye kire say dabi we eye oboase Ashanti Gold eja pade to mumo bia no entimi enko no nkosi dan enko ye bibia no ewo so na enure exclusive ni nyina ne say nyame admo from we hawa akroto so echina ombesto me efficacy njibo na me ya na to me ne mba me ase mo kan keka na ase da bi last one obi hu mo nya permission na o hwese de mo si di logo ne sende ya na je say echina Agro supporters ebepiem ewo efficacy na che say o mabeka yes won yaudie e di akire
menhiasem na kan
menhiasem na me ka njibo o tikoko so say nana da bi aduro no edu atopo no me pa twa onye we ya ni nyina wo ho nturi ehwe obehunu why last one ni twa to kra anti dibo eno na chese echena bibia mezi kwan ya we kra men kan se bibia mezi kwan ya sanse omo si bibia asi omo hu sa de na omo didi ho agora wa hwe mte ho na ejapade na free omo ensa nti dibo de ekoso ewo boase Ashanti Gold emu eno no I say I go push for justice at Menshia. Ti omo achese black park honi baby a munyina mushia na motumi abpm ewa ha ti jibo enya ne sai
tiro ye beda se eneso ena Asante Kodoko omo ashase ye omo interview for usena say nom di release ba bontin say omo pe coordinator for Fabu Census
fantastic
eno ma she interview na say amode pe coordinator
omunya bio
ozai
omunya bio
omunya bi to ma select wo mo no eno mu interview omo na so mu wi ano mo yi ba ko a ono ene beda Fabu Census na no na for my ensisaye but still e wo ho
one day ho
circles election no for national chairman no ene Fabu Census no e kama se management ba bi o mu gina no mu gina
as supporters nso gina anti meso me feel nje se eduru de den de awa hwe kwa kopim wo en court
bay
omo giri ye se Asante Kotoko ye circus no ye mo kan ze kapie ye oh yes nti eno de
eno mo nya
onse jibo dan me catch us he omo ko shia wo RCC no omo gitu mu se a good idea omo ntumi nso ka se omo ka se tia nemom ense so obi bia sorry ya pe say be me register for Fabu Census nti no me ba betu bi nti also omo circus for no and at this time around moto ye we are the following one no akwan da hono mo ti idea ne
na we ni following one a difference
omo jutum
we ni following one
see idea omo so mo ntwema obi am
and am say we ni following one a difference
omo chese wo say emra Kotoboku straight na all the koya juma no so much time for them to reflect over it
yes
now many discussions now more into a consensus then not take over
good
but otu about him was a sena yes ye ndino me was circles no omo constitution over the years now you just throw it away now do we know I was the first to raise my hand and say no me I won't accept it
I won't accept it and before I engage you omo am nim so mess on my journey there but maybe I will no no
I'm not there so
when you be see after season no me boa
omo we season na so no one na
the first come do want
say me 2 years say
no be so no fansa unity
yeah
what does it
so me 2 years say baby a person to kwan ko bia no sha say free baby sometimes one who the right moment the problem beba
I like
maybe who's the right moment in
okay
almost you too mpa but yen kwa feda sa feda ana 2
4 years
jibo say
4 years
enu no wa hihye ni
da bia oya moto ho a
ija da central market
4 years no jibo no wa hihye ni
oya moto ho a ebedu stage bi na akofa asema ba
enyo moto ho
on say yenya politics ba mama kasa asemu
enyo moto ho
sebe enna kakra ni new KM boss ya enu azuba on say was start adwuma bi a oye no kejetia ne central market area ho
manage ho pa
zamanfo obo na chipa o but question na me bisa mo ne say wanya ne na adabai amanfo raise concern say genuine concern o ebisi blue light she yenche amanfo kura nya baabi omo ni shops central market yi yenwie ye senke wi akomo motete kwa ho no ka bebre no omo yi wo central market ombeko blue light for so omo nyina asoso omo ni store nto omo nyina betena kwa ho
sanko for
so blue light for ma no ko 40 to
100 ni nyina ye genuine concern
faka for Dr. Mensa kodi chem so a sasro na ankombeti ase
oni but once starting nesusu a Clementino da bai
eno de ho de ode ba de ende to ase but ha de ende de mfa ntwen kakra
nti
e trendibo
me ntaka kwa muntu andi
me me feel say brain
tika kwa finfin
anaza akọ ne menya adwene
4 years time
oh so utie the reason behind all this one in trying to bring Fabu census back to where it belongs, you know. And say, I want to that about an up and cry say the background, you know. And say accountant, chartered accountant, so and sa area, you know. Always be you look at in the decision behind a year financially how kotoko what benefit financially. And Runtina and they news about in terms of master about project manager on Fabu census.
Yeah.
Because no office say the alliance share and mokotoko. Say Gimatek penino. Say Gimatek.
Yeah.
On the shenensa. Scanaba, Scababiano, on the nim Scaba.
Basakotoko for any kotoko ya real.
No, sir.
Shadanya entirely so bibia yes.
No, sir, system no. Yes. Said they're able to tell. But sometimes you know, like depend on can go good accounts mu dey. Can go good accounts mu time so bosimi on sa fie no na ba say mu share ni. Me share ni.
No, but
so mo nyina mo access to
that. The last time I saw issue about you know, a kotoko supporter. And for that matter, we part of this for census explanation. Scanning koto Gematic account. That's what we create account. The amount koto bas no munya you know.
Different.
Sa we scan ko guno. Sa accounts on them nam so bank be na access bank. And nam so mo de ma koto bas no. And the account o ma create are all the parties including Gematic kotoko. And as omo open that account no. And the na omo use 2 years account no. Omo use edi nya sa di no makoto kudi nya bas no
as we see today
and they call you mateko
menka and say matek like or more and some cash on personal account means just na me patchere
okay
but as we see today the current arrangement no because I know okay you know if there was a even joint signature previously
okay.
But the current items you know they are not like part of signature omo bi
na den esi omo kwa mba da exact
oh so the mechanic say it has to do a lot of changes and tell why auditing now if you going forward no e say esi nyama on in the Fabu census enyo mebre
ko jibo da foro kwa mfato ho a meta sofu bia ba ya pe mo kuo no nyina bia mo yi da bia no be yi nipa mienu na makoka no ho na makosesa no nti no me de I thought say at least ho ne de cause say free ho there can see a different step was that bia no
or say Tino so your assessment of bibia before better decision bia no because again no I'm seeing sheda my auditing of project no before better decision so understanding where it is I said what one will be it on my no say we just audit everything about the project no I don't say Kotoko must own the project.
I know they for sure which menu you are.
I say idea. Nti one for either say why system ne dia my ni etwa o kana wo ara say
obenya
what percentage is a club ne dem
because the earlier old one no he more control more saying
club
no nti obo yes how the 20 nya no say there be yen siesie ne yen ne yie na say yen ne yie a ere ba ko mo muso ne say fa bu sense so no baby ice do na free papa no ye abuchiri na ngofo so ombofu. So what do you do to gain their trust once again? Now uno didn't come out. One of are not, I say I'm happy with the old system no, because last year I issue by message by I said they were not happy with the give me tax system then you know they were complaining. And the MC thought say to gain trust said the uncle for we no no be an bofu on chest will come back no. Kotoko on the project. Yeah, dear. It was just kind of old channel. Kotoko. Now, na pop him. Then, na o my knee is a be a conkai. Now, oh, young soon now, person get his uncle for a trust.
There's almost you know, the old agreement, no. Which still na no. Na circles no percentage we.
Yes.
Was sika yetitia parties in Abina. Okay. Contributions to your circle for one.
And tell me about one of the areas are Kofona no almost Caribbean as a happy no. They think say and I'm MC thing say to bring everyone together. Support base no. Because any NCC from Kwana circus from Kwana chia Fabu says also no. And you know say man no yes say those guys so they are included and how do you include them? They have to be the only way you can include them for them to feel like they are part of the system there in taking decisions in terms of supporters leadership base and all. Me I don't mean whether the name circles no will maintain no say may change no but say you true abani say penny na over be supporters in any no kotoko support bia at least there is something to what recognize you as a supporter. And Chroma say CCI in terms of credible way of knowing someone is a Kotoko supporter, because most of circus members baby now this moment here. Say I got to about who say elections of my previously baby now I'm got to about they are generate receipt in Yamaso we are to what on someone to about because the entire someone to about. When they generate all those payments, it does not reflect into their account.
Scared of account.
Oh, first scared of account. And any person want to do in Italy entirely. So how do you get credible and people? You know, when we are credible supporters, I'm going to talk about. Where the system where the enchantro. You want to know where the enchantro? If I was say, captain only for Wilson Susie, only enchantro. So you can't go and generate into Captain Yasia. Baba Quidie. They skills been and tricks in this year. They are generating or your second member, on your second member. But where dear? Oh, by I say, oh, far with number saying, oh boy, our system will capture everything. And I think that one of the ways that the IMC is trying to bring everyone on board or be on board to full part of the system, they say. And if you talk about year and paying for media, let's use a credible source of knowing who contributor a club is. And if I wish answers, and I'm told say whether quite fine Fabu's on by issue, and the woman you see and I think the Kotoko no get NCC chairman because it looks like say. The IMC are in the backing of efficacy so mention on that decision now so taken because the thing say the club should be able to in the next you see Timura is doing all these things in the next 2-3 years to make the club sustainable, putting infrastructures, doing a lot of things and in terms of putting money no. What about team be not team na ya mana ya kono de amount afi bra na be to so na ye it one of those things be akono no to generate money from fabu sensors
sasa so de entiase wom obera kwa ba
oh me joso
bibia bokode
ya ba ne ya ba
sasa so de entiase wom ayukura boy kakra Alex
yeah
Alex J
yeah
or say striker is not circles percentage but supporters percentage supporters by
supporters
how many be control that percentage no
it's another question
and as I kind of percentage no how much first mu na be ko
yeah
truth is that
who's initiative
supporters now all come asem no the circles because now they are the as we see today they are the recognized supporters base of the club.
Okay.
And even though semantics, you know, so unless is trying to use supporters, no, but we say the recognized body because as can I or no, you have come for what's up for AB, you have come
okay.
They come more the circus leadership. Almost can come more. I think say in bringing Obia on board, no, and I'm seeing for say so what one what's up so na fabu sensors fabu sensor kotaka supporter you have to there should be a reason why you want to contribute.
Captain Maminti Oswai na Riama
I don't think
yakwe next story
obia listening to this ladder idea beka chose enye but that's what democracy is. That's why democracy is important. And you know, you allow other people's view. There's already a system I exist. And now you're person expanding to get other people on board. First of all, whose initiative is Fabu Census? A cycles initiative. And a management are buying into it. And on person expanding. So if it changes, SAA changes, there should be that sitting down approach. And discussions, they expand the argument no matter why it should be like this. But ultimately, crucify the circles because other so-called groups think you're more. And now the background say it's the initiative from the day buy, and management and so assume be an omde yes ajuma. That's why I may call it say yes, a laudable idea. But you cannot push it without almost others no almost consensus. Sit them down, let them understand why it should be done like this. So you want to clear sardine everywhere. Yes, any pan now more sardine. Etias yes, oh, jetum. Say you know. It shouldn't be a decision from the management to say na yakwa. In other words, I won't bet me so flex on muscle because circles. Directly, you are not running circles. Directly, you are not running circles. Indirectly, are you over to circles more? But circles, no, an autonomous or semi-autonomous body. And because I want to near me, I won't run on my face. But just what I say. I want to tell me, by omuna to mo jeje mu amma ene no e ko de ekoi etno yes I buy into it me free say kodoko supporters na spread out everywhere e bi me over this the internet buy amma what it doesn't matter distance is not a matter what ya brochire but bit ma contribute to Asante Kotoko those people actually recognize almost contribution. I don't know management nana yes being an accountant or chartered accountant these ideas no bano I think come on but nana must also appreciate say in this day and era you cannot force something on people's neck say and person here and I want to believe the owner of the club man she will tune for a believe democracy. That is why come share nana and I'm told him the most person a walk into the presidency, you know, you're practicing a whole fee and son to that. And nobody is against it. I am for it. Say a BM, my all other contributors, no, almost where are they equal almost how important they are. Say we say about moving. And you know, second, but they started. And you know, open say you know. Now say future is a kotokono. Yes, you know, about to crown. Yeah, in fast circles, you didn't every hole. It must be something that must be understood by all supporters. And say, yeah, in the circles beam. Says a be a supporters front. It compasses all other bodies. And you chairman, that chairman, a catty across. You warriors, you know, Nancy Bakubi Bayana, almost have you be no more what I say. You know, way, a supporters. It's yes, circles, no, and I said another kid was a word of use, no, a recognized body, a woman, shia. First protocol, even board cry, not your circle representation, management, and then be it's a year through something that we had a discussion on the round table, and kotokono engu na eguchina. It is a unya idea now so the bar, and your force so you be real moon say, because sometimes bet more force the idea be aba. People will not patronize because of say one secure word or advice on it. Of course, special neck. But when it is that I think they will buy the idea and they will move it forward. But how on the web should be calculated. So now what can account to be a 33 baby, right? Account to be episode 2 coin, Kruban episode 2 coin jada. Na se ne jada central market hoyi blue light hoyi na se osu poso tuka onko jina onko faka ba ko jina ba bia e hojo na onko fa card yakọ and you know yes it must start from somewhere but yen choose ba bia start no appropriately say be ya enko face future disturbance be in free other group be mra say ya anye say ye be say ko say na unstable that loud idea penifo e de eba no. I think these are some of the things that Santo Kotoko. As a Saturday, Omo Konya so meet my room. I hear a near ma a basic 2 club no going forward. Okay. And he me take no.
All right. Over me about so Nanako say I talk the circles alone will sustain the Fabu census, not knowing Finiko Treyem. Okay. I know Nanako see the out there Abba and no. We so I'll be a if you say. I have no interest in who leads the circles because I'm not a member and will never be a member, regardless of the name given to it. The club should set parameters. If that meets the parameters, should be recognized. And no, obeying acrofidie or de abanono. We so Odisika Tum Prada. Kodogo supporters' contribution. From the circles is different from NYA's Fabu census. Okay, and also Nedio de Abba and no job being and so Nedia was Jibo. Please let's draw some experience from the clubs in Europe and how they manage their team and supporters. Jibo educate us on AC Milan and Zach on Manchester United, and this will settle the debates on the way forward for circles and other supporting groups. And also kojo ben de out de aba enono Kofi Ajiman Blackman was good evening, watching you live inside Pig Farm in Accra. Say Robert, maminti oi.
Almost avoid broke girls. And no idea I trend this is here.
Avoid what?
Broke girls. Broke girls. My omni capre. Captain minim the original fast answer no. I said how you know? Trend pa. I said dia group pa. I said the bia no more. So I'm say many pen 2 pounds ah. Ti minim dia chairman be ka fa ho dia. Chairman. But I'm say avoid the broke girls na minim say futu pa na say.
Yeah, avoid the one.
E ma broke girls no kre who ni say.
It depends.
Because it depends. It depends about me the real consume.
It depends.
Yes, okay. It depends then, sir.
Also, you broke guy. Broke guy.
I said the anything.
See our fan to my bomb there. And I'm a boy.
Say China
say no Phantom abom de no eno no ne capital town WWB
okay
sort the mission say aha
and to be two before say on date a broke girl
sa nyoma ne de ubed it depend and make say it depend sort the mission say ni nyina ne ntiase because obi oni bie obede be ye den so benya kokuduro akwasi obi pe so what the mention I say aha it's mostly no
bia oni bie no
omumienu ya na etako so what the mention I say omumienu no ya na etako aha so wo ti hey say nei uchu so oba oni ne be ware a obe hede obetimi no wako so what the mention I say aha anya bibia na be kwa kofa but the most important thing football and man is life. Life is important than love.
Abrabonu hiache ododo.
Yes.
Okay. Nezo he bibi ebe mo abrabonu.
Se mutimi bo abrabonu ya odo na abeba.
Okay. Okay. I'm blessed. I'm in a triangle of married men. Oh, Diana. What the mama say na etimi abo amna.
Ese ofa oba. Ohun se onene mienu no abrabonu beboa wo.
Okay.
Eye dey abema ne de abusua no ni tire.
Okay.
Wona abekọ adibia bafie. Nti wo fo oba na fo oba obehu so obeboa wo.
Okay.
Udi odonko achi amasa abe yo to lege. Nti to aso.
Okay. So no more do all correct. On the bar side they all correct. Okay. Yeah, to aso.
Yeah, go.
Fabu sense in common no. No crane ba akope. Jibon say abrabono. Say ne ne Kenya.
Ba wo ya hwewe ma me mate say su nipa. Our player inti menu.
Oh, my
yes, London.
Mamba so akabeti ase. Aso
we. Inti menu ko.
Member so intim to London.
Intim Dino.
Member so den. Na Jibon say say abrabono say wan boni ye ba otaswa ye nkunyane ade. Oh, because Boga $400 ne bana omo na ni wi ahon expect omo say omo na nsa nko sesa nkonwa ho asem debi omo nya sa ade ni bi
asem na ka na ye careful
say omo fo yi scan to ha na say e plan wi ahon expect so no na nkonwa no en debi onya sa adwuma odo ahon de ne beboa
unshi of opemanso
now you say you know put me plan ya na abruche for na ba na mo plan ni na mo dia to ha no ma oba ye bibi
ya mo hwe no ma me na ma hwe ayi housekeeper
Benjamin Asare
so car Alaji Adongo Diamano
Alaji Diamano yeah na jibo
Alaji Diamano
Mugabi so na Diamano
Mugabi na enam ne so a oni Alaji Dinkobo na Alaji de ka no e de ama Asare unza Asare ko ball 2 games ne bae no na Asare ko tena trotro mo ko training
yeah
na video ne ba viral and I ya enu Mugabi na ka me try se menya Mugabi to nso so onu so ye programs
yes sabro no tu jade
and I say Mugabi so be me nya ka
okay
the Mugabi so has nipa yeah
Mugabi no sports journalist
Mugabi no
on fan house in Yago
Mugabi na ye you know a reporter ma ye na Mugabi go so one Kinsi why on Mugabi ni Kinsi why omna ne was success radio ona no mo to omaya na bia
Jibo
nti ebe he no so
ebe he no
Asare try
na players no so menya nti se ebe push bi mo nti no ebe he ni nyina
boro players no
ebe push bi nti ebe he ni nyina Jibo yan kan yeah say ya fene so asa afia so ne ekun akoko normal Jibo no kwani ese yamma obibia circles nkomwe otwemu no ntiase ese ebre na yeduru no sensi na ebesi ochana circles no obia form animu ntwitwi form ba no kra ne ese enyoma hodo a ye hwe anim so mo beye no oma ho den ne oma ho keka no entimi nya menduru sa anwoden no
nti boga for ni do mati kwa form
enti ese ne oma bisesa asɛm ni nyina no say ye ji atum say woni kotoko ekitaafo nyina ku a ekọ kotoko nhihye mu kotoko nkomdie mu a yema wa konyama won tena mu no esa wo de dom bi di wachi de ba de ma o munya sa privilege ni emre na ye form ana ye take sa decision baby ana mu gina na baby o mu gina no ma wo keka no efesika samu efa ye boatim no physical and spiritual efa se yembeku stadium na yenta team na chi no na sa nyoma miensa wei no mo ya ekokromoti a wo so mo bopo ere enye yie ba baby ejira sesei pe ye betimi abopo na je omo eponi mbu enya so mo hia wo mo hia be betimi abopo na je omo ahwensi enti eduru sa there will be reforms na reforms se wa anya obi ba be ya ma eno no mo twen am ya be duru hai ese ka reforms no komo ankasa aye o ma de dada sani o mo relevance no enke sonte nanka still omenya the bragging right to say ye pe the official supporters group of Asante Kotoko nke nkoso anya omo a enti ke ba ne sa no ka faabu census yo meka se ye chitafo ne betimi ne ensasi ebosa about 70% and contribute to omo ye nkofo and therefore some terms and conditions ya ye be fa baby you will stick to e be ka trom say omuntua reduce na omutua na ne nipa no nya bi na bros na akotua bi ama club ndi akotua bi ma club and anka numpo no jibo ka if they have a solid dues paying system afibia na abusumi bia aso a and now say members need tua ne no mo wie a omu tibia bre club na anka nya sure say club na ni be bra ma fa abu census yaba and can no crowd be yon common circles ni initiative they will not need any form of backing from the supporters. Come in if a circles dues na na bia o me modernize a sales circle be a census can be fabulous but say no and am someone ka say hu say omo establishing them omo nko a enye yie no they needed the management to confirm so that other Kotoko supporters so ba be kan omo ni omo domain into omo ankasa and they accepted that defeat from the word go but come accept we no asem ma kan over and over some community initiative bi ba say obi biara obe contribute to fabu census no we are taking on advantage of that to get him closer to the supporters, to get him closer to the circles. And to also more registration or location ya no. Nan kesen komu mani bri so ye location na say oh bantman near waka bantman circles on. Kasa bri sa se bin kembai. And to some extent, you know, they fail to accept the modern way of doing things. Of course. Because en komu accept ya. Komu momu na kombe move from yenshia kwesiada after matches to yankos WhatsApp platforms no. Ke ho no komu na de be ko ho. Ba mu moment mi anya mfa nko ho. Asem ni nyina no no. And na ama other ones ni bia gain momentum no. As almost stay with the old way of doing things now, tradition here, and nobody's saying anything wrong when it comes to traditions. But modify as time goes on. So now so because we are now come center. Now the time about Germany, no actual London, no actual. Where you money be good? Obiensi ho because obienye is a WhatsApp call near then, and you need to accept the modern way of doing things.
The you was some na di kan and say oyo fana ofia wan hwe a abraboni bituna abochefo ne yiska ba
eye nu dura
eye dura na ba esa kunya so this is like for ne hwe kunya so
of course eye se be yima frimo you play a critical role but about the sawa ho den na ka wo fade won a wo kire say ye no man 25th obi antimi nka hwe no wo sa to me no eso te sa ho den no eso te entiene no clearing if they fail to accept the new way now management in introduce now no cause what no that them before you realize maybe eba benya Asante Kotoko supporters union big circles maybe obi entache baby abenya Asante Kotoko supporters union kese pa yebeyi how executives will be voted for. Yebeyi how to become a member of Asante Kotoko supporters union kese ne pa ebeba. That stage will get there. Sa stage ni mpamba. One yebenya a supporters group bia. They would work with the modern way of doing things in such a way say 5 or 6 years to come omo be vibrant than the circles. No more be pure messaging. And it's there. How many people expected say BlackBerry, Nokia, and then iPhone baby two omo? Nipa do say. Then time of BlackBerry pin and they're trendy. Now iPhone has taken over. How many people now who say you walk around who's kuta BlackBerry? How many people now walk around who's kuta Nokia? It will happen if you don't work along the way. Once the sound your man, bibi ba sound. Either they will start now. And yes, almost soon in fast wo. Ibo, almost one fast wo. But almost person almost one fast one. A course why casino when you to me send your name maybe wamu to me no wamu bomwa. Na management home popona. As a summer song on your man. Okay. Someone's son the ajibo. Now their financial contribution to the club at the same. And they about we free more and your baby I said they have time for critical issues around Asante Kotoko. And not there. Say Kotoko they do Western. Open dedicated supporters omunko siomo and not there you get that from the circles. It's still there. But it's kind of way. Echita for na stadium no. Ma ho de mo de na we. Ye betimi akase circles say Kotoko supporters 1,000 and a stadium every match there. They are responsible for maybe a 50% ana. You bet me aka. Enti sa your money free no. So be sorry. Now group be sorry. Now fe Kotoko bo matcha. Numbers ne check it 20%, 30%. The management will start taking them serious.
Okay.
Every month be we no mo ankasa sika majegia. TB for omo welfare which is omo dues omo TB. Now the ebe catch on be break club no. It's me taking care of maybe a hotel bills. For maybe within the month, no, and like it's about 2 away matches. It's me taking care of that too now. You realize that they'll start gaining power. So the circle need to, I say, a modernizer. No.
So bad, I say.
Okay. I could feel the message be, I send the message be. Now I think say, and one circus, I'm special because no, say management should not be directly involved with how supporters conduct their business. They should just set the parameters for the recognition of supporters groups. 1, groups must have at least 90% of members on the FABU census. 2, groups should use the census to elect their leaders. Groups that do not comply should not be recognized by the club. And to share parameters, and I'm seeing a set say.
And so they will be
now, who your group be and who's not be about AC Milan Manchester United. There are a lot of groups on but the recognized one that now I Papa no do better chess and Manchester in was for you know. They might not they one question. They made the recognized Manchester United Trust Fund. I will lead them no so at the release by one thing ever down massive. Meanwhile, there are other United groups supported groups but every club when they are communicating they recognize
based on your contribution.
Yes, one now I'm dealing no mono. I send a message to the other ones. And I try to say they set the parameter. And then say now every group piano whatever you let you know for census. The baby and for census.
Okay.
And almost at least there can be other.
Yeah, Benjamin Asare.
It's a good thing. And sometimes in Chroma say no. And the people sometimes negative. The kind of insult being in some way. Maybe I'm video about one no.
Or time not to
training no.
So a match.
And then central for being negative and you see Chroma say no. One tongue, one can answer ma.
Bimba
Chroma say you see I no problems ba. I'm a boy. It's over. Captain, any problem? But I don't see a problem. Ah, me omunim. Eti Ben nipa no chance have video no. And they said Benjamin said okwohwe no koda na se. And mo ma de enchi so kra. Onko pelechi akwan. Na onko da na se special. Say, "Hey, onua, aboa me. Enya wo anka de bia anka mti trotro mu." Na time na okotena kan na o ba ben ntum say to atata watch papa aben no ye trotro for aben no omo kwa na omo passenger pem so last na omo every passenger so no nte wa trotro ma chentu onim how trotro drivers no ba aben no yambo Mugabe abaso because at least on take the initiative say Sadia na ato Benjamin Asare Blasters goalkeeper na onum de man ye na yampo ne ne store na ne say that was the first time week na ofri ya okobo Blasters n buy na o buy na o take mu ko no o buy na okobo Blasters all training, then immediate training na no titro man or the house folk training. And tina I ferry some kakra. And sometimes you need these negative stories to help improve ya brabo. And I'm sure say and the Benyasare you see. So I follow the story now. Olympus on one goalkeeper. If you follow the local league for a very long time, no more keep it HB. Roughly. Not on the more Olympics. I think so pride. And I said but take every chance to keep because I said no. But I don't move in every one because of the age. I said when you into all quietness. I said has scrub and only young at Olympics he wasn't a baby bonsu. Aranya bonsu. But me can't keep any team Olympics. He was number one goalkeeper at Olympics. Maybe and I can't so pry. And I said by I said by there more. You're born watching no keep a clean sheet, no our channel. And I fear I can't turn over and I fear I said I did nafa. Season ended has supporters searching channel problem back a goalkeeping and the things I said will solve the problem. Management see and Tiasi when you need almost a problem we have a judge Munsana Sare. Na I was a diaspora foi and so much ginem Emma has a neutral command and sao conference fia 1 year then bila omekwa nansi anka esanya why sending ni because some visa on me like when you need to it's the story no if you go back to the background Jibo I think say in the last 2 years has been the best year of the boys career and adding this to Blasters and yeah Cheneka na Watara Alaji Sedu Adongo yes Watara etunu fubi Watara na me say Watara do Ghana ni
okay ABJ tie from Accra ABJ yeda sepa ABJ ese goalkeeper no Steven Kwaku
correct
yes ABJ there eba local players no any local ball na
ABJ no say me kam kwa Accra me hwe no
anka memo hu no
okay ABJ
no asa wo players osesi o mo kama
ABJ me ne
central forces yo
o say central for the minyan hu bi
busa no
ai ABJ yeda say o hwesho ne
o me na say play bia play bia ne ye hu di ngomo ana obo ABJ di em say oh ABJ kura Jibo aka no asem ni birthday Jibo aka no asem ti no e dia mehwe nchi akwan nti ono na make no asem no na number 1 goalkeeper
oh you good brother ABJ
so no on number 1 goalkeeper Intercide was number 1 at Olympics Anna lucky for him because I want to call him lucky for him because I 2 years so they were virtually fading him out from the system and then one prior Anna Asare Benjamin Asare be there hey so me tin catches how boy no
no no division 1
no good power
una unyini short back go papa
on kira any high be sa ba obo bi obeche no e ka say buy no hey ya bobo no fa anga na Asare yi middle no save penalty no head
Hey.
Sorry, what I said day, which means you didn't free. And I said the car now look at where it is. And yanda Alaji
32 years.
Alaji dia
Sedu Adongo. Yes, classic media.
Yes, yanda na say.
Class media owner.
But I think say Mugabe the age man more because Ojijini mu say that
Mugabe Manase.
Yeah, Ojijini mu say baby boy no do no.
Mugabe do ha you na chi.
On tiasem ma. On
twema da.
On tiasem ma on try say na anu yayi.
Na ni de mai. Say Nancy abe last week mo na man for start here. Oh, Mugabe a promise player ne kwa odwana num. Nem say week here o charge no no. Ese make come ho. Ese Mugabe so.
Yeah, ese obi an Mugabe o. Ala captain, ese obi an here no so ni Mugabe.
Na anu ya na o tuje bi pa oto mampenyija.
Enti say Asare.
Ese captain ko huno.
All it goes to confirm so your fair.
I say captain ko huno. Because no of say DJ Yaba.
Why?
Oh, one thing Mugabe, one video no. Oh, Otujo,
so say classic media for them say.
O say jwana
Ye fa media for them.
Omo ya na say ye fa media for no for movie. Obi am omo na omo ko.
Obi am rebedu.
Nkurase.
To aso ye nto.
E ko ejuma no. E yo mo free ejide e ya.
Obi am rebedu 4 years.
Ti captain, e say ko huno na o aso si ye didi eja.
Me nyene sa gyo ne kra.
Oben, na me tie we.
Omo didi me bi so me bi ba so.
4 year period.
Say who's as appointment.
That's 21st year.
E say
captain na say omo to ne nkra o.
So brana.
So omra na de oye ni nyina no omo te. Ti omra na omo ni nsi nkonya.
What say? Ba no kwani ba.
Omo de nkran so ko fa Apia Stadium so. Enti nanu mi ni konkonsa kakra na chemo.
Mi hu so oni Apia Stadium. Ewo kotokwane. Match be ngura. Omo la so mi game na ngura.
Eduana.
Mi so no oni Apia Stadium. I say a movement.
So brother.
I made them my information say. Omaton card your fin crying.
Okay.
So omu here captains yes.
Mama go for me.
Think it you cry.
Omu here captains yes ya. They say was start here o to anamo. Enchebia. Be bosumi edi enimi kakrea se captain kra obi se o kon kan
no go the appointment
esa mo say
as o go for me
ebrena so
I'm not you
o ben raminti we
jibo unse ben video na me hu ye no de mama ni je nzo abrabo no the amani pebibre a soro kono acha ma omo na yese omo peja omo na mbro steps na na yese omo fro no de onduro peja bro e na onim se o fra atwede na se o patria na me anso mo e form dam sa form so nyesa o to form apura tu be san nya ahode asori asan de afro no e bi abrabo no wa wie ye mu ana woko was a clear example of obia who live within his means.
Yeah.
Very, very important to Abrabonumpa. Live within your means. And yes, I feel na media menya kakasako. Me into 2 ye. So it's not the front. Maybe I'm not telling the air and hard you front or no. Especially when ya and no one antana would take away no swag. A quiet car na engine, no chassis or not.
Over the car front, you know, and I came in it. Seriki, a story. Say, Pony, tell you for Troton. The Pony Kofia. Seriki, I say, it is hard to kind of be now, and it is speed.
Mokosho.
It was why was shit for box. It's a brave boy. The beer,
aside no monfa video into yes monfa video into screen so na mo etimi hu ye no contra na say ano na me fan so ana
oh so bi obi beboa
wan
saka bi ti obi beboa dia azana branch bi pe bi ato do the kanisa me akuanim ejibo the point is I mean I was happy despite what now call for can no
so you mo to ne Canada ne ba
street and the aba
oja fusu ne na mo
live within your means very very important bayana say adding especially wafro na oti eche na obetua obi no bia ma nsa so e bia chare metua ma me am yada opa enye easy ada say obetua ma me yada o eno I say o ye ni say me but the point is eso who sa brabo no steps and some re no beso on say ena yeti we dibo ye won nyoma bi wo ho enne ye ne simple ebetimi ayam obi simple baby at 10 years ago ka kire bi kra ne en dance ho dai but senke started for so ye ho ye ne sa 10 years ago na nke na ye ntimi nye no comfortably sene ye no that is stages of life nyankopon no nima brabo no me hu say na say boys no ye na odi 40 na ye den na odi 40 na ye de wunya scan na edi unim ochena sem but what if ochena ne beto na wonya prepared one prepare ho ne na for ochena na what will happen
and some so do ka be so beba
yes
okay ka be so beba me na ba I know the ne nhia e bi so ne say e say wiase na yehu
okay
ade beche obetia na news a obetia no obe no wani nye ho nti amanfo so say say nei nyame boawo na de pachewa wadi mfi apem
tiju wani
nti watare bi na watode ato se wo twen se wedding bi na de beko ana program bi na de beko a masa ade eche wa hye
eno wo nko bi asa obi anka sa asem but so chena ne ba na no wambo ahofo chena na what will be your state
e wudi da uja akra
e ho na ya am go fo hwe no o chena ne beba o de e possible say bi o chena ne bia ento but what if ebeto no be sound say braba wo boy say 10 years time wa wo ma na o ma bills aba be kan ho a sene ya wunya a wo hwim just to please certain people and live within a certain class of life no sa brabo ya wan kasa onim say nipa ho wetimi adada o mo matwa won hia ba wan kasa wotena dem a onim wa state o so financially if you are improving in life you know it no be na be ka kire and financially wa wonim say brabo na wo bon na etu amra ma wo chena you know it to wa tena say and he was living his natural life. He realized that listen, Ghana hano because Olympics are here na near the man. Ebi Olympics no kwa bobo sia na break it through man. And I only one thing. E break it through ma na.
Watara na jina we.
Ijana nche no.
Okay.
E break it through ma na captain. They hard any say. Ebi ana on -20 you. And I fair na break ya ma wo. It's a one say break ya ma now that's what -20. Now want to turn your man year. No cranny say. O starting leave with say you negative or 10 or 20 and farm to a -20 according kakra. So my point is I'm happy for him. I hope but that
a life lesson.
Yes.
Obu o bobra na eduru ba bia na ba mabu. Nti just imagine sorry said na Zaki to kana asem. Onya binna. That time he might no about 29-30.
No copper.
Na afi wotwana na bama boss go ne kura na me na biem. Kanu no. And they like in the next 6, 8, 9, 10, 12 months. Blasters call up there. There be oh. Ye sha so obeje.
Oje ebesesa.
Per them 150 no so there be obeje.
Otutu ni year. Obi a wetimi a kire say even when we call blasters abakroba fruit trotro onye ubade na say ono hwe anani da ho pa obi oko
ena obi so okan na chi se mo hwe ya ska okọ black stars onyaye no baby obo ne ball starting ne ball ne on bonsa ne namfofo obo no munyina o donate bibi nkaka de momo
no munyina fa pa bonta na chi next time no what's next time no say ball ne order nipa be 2009 dey see for mo
so mamu wo nshira
enya onu kwa na nansi for mo nipa be 2000 to bozo obo ayenhye na jibo yambra eye kotokode no so
intimidating
ma say Zito enra ne boys na meet
enra
yes
okay
ewo MTN FA Cup na meeting na enya asem ketwa mama boys na hu say matches na aka won anim no especially Chelsea match no season ni nyina ejina sa match no so also mathematically Asante Kotoko can win the Ghana Premier League but it's a long shot eni omon nsem sa esa wo hye na obi hwe ase na wo hye ni nyina na obi so anhwe ase ase ne ewuda so gina bibia gina ba FA Cup ne de wo hye brekuta won nsem they say om se final no mbebo Legon
sir
yes Legon no mbebo final om de ababon thing just
the to aso
but mo de na hye brekum Chelsea ko Legon ko hye na ko Africa ko hye na ji bonus ko hye na sesa wabrabo. So he had an extensive meeting.
And Zuba kind of went to me.
Don't me.
Now on your moment.
There be the Venyanisa, and yes, I'm Timber or the down shed now, Shenajana went to me and Shambadia. Do you be a female and on found to be a dano or pound found Kugu FA Cup trophy, some of the FA Cup trophy now, Medibebro. And on the boys, Nakasa, ye hope to say how things will go moving forward. Now, Kotoko players, no. Show some level of seriousness. Our match, no. Our mobile media day. Bet media Jim Kunim. Our FA Cup na Kingsbury kum Chelsea. Na Jibo. Kotoko team no. Emrantie no. Enyo mu nyina na be survive next season. Na adwuma we dey me sure say
team we qualify Africa. To bet. Ya kura eti hey. Ini momo Africa na zo mu kobi. And no more African here so much.
We are pen and paper one. We just say.
Timmy, say scour hoppa, dear. Scour hoa. And no, say, no, any Champions League and I can't say. Over there, now, share virtually the top clubs no more competing now. Our Africa. Would almost will be any crown or be 5, 6 quality players outside country na club na wono.
Okay.
For me to say Samba. For me to say Mukwala. For me to say Mbella. For me to say Mfegi. Recent years make up foreign players on my bar on my team SL. Look at their standard. Na fa compare ye dey no. Se Kotoko Samba so be a base 6 almost start with team now. Omo you ready to compete
in key positions.
Yes.
Omo bought to send a level.
Yes.
But
omo mo there. This almost so so.
Do they any stay or leave? Kamara.
And they are 7 person coach.
Oh, they say Kamara stay. Oh, Kamara.
Yes, Kamara stay.
Frederick Kasare contract extension.
If Kotoko the strength and omo yeah, I think they will need Asare.
Okay, Asare stay. Patrick Essien, do no doubt.
Stay.
Abulo.
Stay.
Samba.
Stay.
Ansu swap stay go emuden
Ansu corona as so twa game once e will be so ho a say ote bench on ha adwene
okay
nse ni nyina na consider sa anyoma no
team player
ote bench a on create problem
ba den be boso a o ye de na famu
until at least say upo be to be a sub for Samba ne abroad I think say it's okay.
Na Sifana omodem ba na.
Sifana so nya bad. Onzo betia e sub.
Okay. Na se Kotoko as Asante de wantimi ambonti no de.
Ayi Marcelo.
Marcelo.
Okay.
So no de no. Ono ye hu no ndia no ye mfa ne nto he.
Sa Marcelo de wantimi ambonti sa.
De ono ye hu no kra.
Marcelo
got compel left back.
Marcelo beko.
Na Ajeti kakra na he.
Ajeti eso oko.
Okay. But Lord in stay.
Yes.
Tinedu play in team.
Tinedu play in team. Kotoko be here upgrade. Na we ma be sap.
Ti o munyina ntra.
But o me sap no mun ko upgrade.
Na so mun pedi obro mo so. Che Dwamna Baba Yaya Emmanuel Entry.
Che away.
Okay.
Baba Yaya team member upgrade mun po bi.
Upgrade of Baba Yaya.
Yeah.
Na Entry.
On so upgrade. On they were disappointing me pa.
Okay.
Senior Obian Krufi so chiao. Okay. Obian how you know?
Na Awuche Basi
away.
Okay. Basi
away.
Peter Akwa
Amidu asemi die. Ono eso munya abotru so.
Okay.
Ante eso mana. Ni hoya
Eduku
Emfa
Minta
Emfa.
Albert no Kwame Poku.
Albert stay. But upgrade.
Okay.
Kwame Poku upgrade. So mon pe ba ko wosro.
As I show my say no. Also left upgrade, right upgrade. Center back eh.
Say center back do omumienu no.
Ablo ne samba na
even kotoko full backs no. On say aye see no. Aye matches wa bre.
Okay.
And Lord no ho Lord ne dey me player o.
Okay.
Oni bo ankasa.
To omum pe
no
competitors. And more. And I say DM ho no upgrade.
Omum pe omumiensa no. In team. Tele do
and I play.
Omum sam pe me for des miensa. Omo wosoro chen omo. Na we mu mra emro machi.
Omum pe 3.
Yes, 3. African ye near grow ho.
Na and attacking midfield.
Okay, so be qualify ko group stage akwaje $500 in that for.
And attacking midfield na.
Say attack makase.
And also Baba
stay, but upgrade omo pa upgrade.
And entry upgrade.
Entry.
Jano manu nya ba ko an anya mienu.
Entry no. Wo hwe ne attitude na. Onye player wo ti ase mde ne tra bench a.
Okay. So ne tra bench on
ti ase. Ohun is a ball no.
Betimi abo.
Onimbo. Nti player sa no. Oba so oba yen so emfa. Nto no sa no se nye loan bi no mde be ko mo pe ba bi no mo nton ne manenko.
No waje.
So no ni profile ne ye ni CV ne ye.
No waje kakra so ho. Na say no wa bo be 5 no. Be 5 players so. And also wings. Omon pe upgrade and a striker baako.
Omon pe striker wosro. Omon ko Africa. Omon ko nanam kronkro no so. Pe striker. Unzo oto atena.
There's a best 7.
Kwame Poku lead team no Africa.
There's what best 7 no.
Na
and I only say players are okay so mun kunyina almost din wo yem ko ni list no.
And ti say nti de mekan na besi wi.
Players na okay so mun kunyina.
Nti na ba Dr. Keke Sapon asem no.
Oni coach ya esu ni mre. Omunyina obia ni ho a. De me hwehwe mu say amensa aka say club ni pese ojo mo kwan no ambo ni di.
Abo mu nyina di.
Obia
mo fanye news say. 05361616070201941461. Captain Siasia. Ebeshia why? Okay. Now we dey na man na apia.
Oh, of course, then they can do mommy be handle.
So,
but you be a mommy, sir. Only in charge of Uncle baby this.
Okay.
And to be Martin. I send the video na command ma or Damasi.
Okay.
So Damasi pa.
And apia betimen kan. Why?
Yeah.
I now the mumu number na send me.
That's a ra. The family don't send.
About me more no street. Or phone kwa de.
Pacho you.
E be kono street. Yeah, call line so na yakudi nkomo. Odi we bia kasa finado asema to aso. Ade ano odi okay. Ehwe nti said the tiano no. Odi we bia kasa finado asema to aso. Hello.
Hello, good evening, Striker.
Evening, chairman. Okay, bacho yetiu.
And it's not and I'm the name that is our talk. I check in my first. Almost some person now. But I have another Bacaboni.
Why? Mentido busani you. Mugabe no lead and Mugabe dem nim so e house ni bad authority dem nim timo support. Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's it. Yento aso. Hello, di baby akasa finado asma to aso. Hello? Hello? Yes, sir.
Good evening.
Evening.
Wrong number.
And a wrong number. And if an abeso free. Oh, somebody you know. Odi baby akasa finado asma to aso.
Ajibo we da omega kuntu.
Ome yetiu.
We there. And asama mu ke ni na me problem on say. O ko Manchester City Manchester omo group ka omo supporters omo be 3 enso omo nkonda enso etimi obi atimi di cycle afem ade command some new no na cycle so dey group ba ko dey akọ ayesa na akọ bomu ma ntabo ma reba ne say census no bi anya di radio no board di 2 5 wo dey won tiri ya kwa ya wo sikani kwa dey 2 5 so so ani ato anu na be bo ati no dan say e be kokko ya ho be da say
okay yes you da say yen to aso odi ba bi akasa fi na do asma to aso
but from Remo makasa fi ya
okay mbacho yetio
Ampacho MTO Sambana can be presented. No would be some the Bob Pan or what? Who recognize for Ghana players? Yes, somebody and another go to keep. The president, Governor, your share trainer.
Oh,
yes,
Sanya Casam.
Oh, Sanya
Yan Casam, sir. And the player be both team, you know, ya, the initiative as a player, Nasa.
Menkaso wanyadio.
Said the Uche, the over just on Yade.
Presented Timikase or go down a Premier League so. Can you imagine?
Yati. And was Edio. Hey, and a senior Eddie. Would you maybe I can say Finado was Matoso?
Hello, good evening.
Evening, oh.
Because I feel about your family.
Okay, but you.
Yeah, Miss Macaca for as good as I share more, you know. One champion first one on my as good co relegation. I'm co relegation, it's all come afraid, Tira, on somebody as I see through meeting. He said, wait, Ghana has here, it's written in Abobra. Once a boss say, idea, yeah, Ghana for the religion as good as Chile. This person will call radio, your most league in Mudia, but the traffic at the Omaba. Nanka je project nanka ombe no eka so nya afulu no omo de haye se de omo dada am mpemfo na ye gimu di senka omo di mu ka ju ko ababak no no ma omo afase a omo afase omo ye as good je se mpemfo fo omo ntu no mto moye se baby a asem no kono ha gene ha je over simidi no
yeda se yentimi fa course ni biem yede mo si ha nyame yadmo ochina eda foforo yebese hia efiri no nan ekopim eye no nsia on promise 102.7 highway sports nyame eboa ochina anopa tidbits 6:40 to 7 6:30 to 7 and ana 6:50 samekani yo na for today's sports 9:30 to 12 na 4 to 6 on promise 10